Good morning, happy Friday, and welcome back to the NOFO Live Show, where I, Sunita, along with my co host Tracy, we hop on every Friday and talk about everything North Fork. The sun is shining, it's beautiful. There's been a couple of rainy days in between, but it feels like the North Fork has just come alive. The cherry blossoms are just everywhere. Every place seems to be opening up for the season, and events are happening. There is a lot going on around the fork. There is a dandelion festival happening at a local farm in Southold at KK's. We featured them last year. It's a really great event. There is cherry blossom festival. Good morning, Maria. How are you?
Good morning. Wow. What a week, right?
There is so much going on this weekend. I don't know, I know you're super busy because you're planning your own large event. But I am excited also about the Cherry Blossom Festival in Greenport.
We have our cherry blossom has a tree. I have a grove of three, and so they're just ending up. So I know the cherries are right on the edge this week. It's great. And it really is my favorite time to be here because it's right, it's a rebirth, right? See it all come back. Hi,
And
Tracy.
Hi, Maria. Hi,
good.
Sunita.
Hi. And but the Cherry Blossom Festival for me is also a little bit unexpected because you don't think of the North Fork necessarily when you think of cherries, but I think Greenport is special in that there is a large selection. And over the years, they've done this festival, but it seems to be growing because now they have like a Japanese music thing happening and they have a 5K race. So I shared the flyer earlier this morning. So I think it's tomorrow and hopefully the weather stays good for them. So that's
Well,
great.
well, thank you for bringing it up because I'm so focused on Earth Day and Sunday. I like,
Well, let's jump into that. I know you're here as Maria, but you are the president of Slow Food East End. So tell us a little bit about what the slow food
oh, you're
movement
right.
is.
I was supposed to log in from Slow Food. Sorry, guys.
It's
I
all
have the
good. It's
memo
all
right here too. Oh well, yes. I've been with Slow Food for about 4 years now. I originally started many years ago, just connecting with the organization when we started to do some fundraisers for our beloved Jerry Hayden, who's passed away from ALS. But Slow Food was one of the early recognizers about, giving back and finding ways to help people. And that was my first engagement with Slow Foodie Stand, and I was really impressed. And so it's been an interesting ride since then. And Sunita's on the board. We have a great team, and it really feels like a powerhouse year this year. I feel like this is our third season, our third year in a row for Earth Day. So that always feels good to kind of go into an event knowing what to expect. I mean, you guys know, Tracy
Yeah, it was a great.
especially, it's a
Tim
huge
and I came
difference.
last year. It was a great event. Great event.
So we're hoping to get a great crowd. I just was checking the weather report. Looks like Sunday's going to be sunny and, breezy. And we're on the shore of the Shinnecock Bay. I don't know if everybody knows where our event will be, but it's in Hampton Bays, which is right in between the forks and right off of Shinnecock Bay. So we've got a beautiful view. Slow Food East End represents the East End. So even though we're on the North Fork and we love it here, our territory is bigger than that. So that's why we chose Hampton Bays for this Earth Day. But there's a lot going on. I hope people do swing by between 1 and 4 because there's the festivals and dandelions and cherries and so much more. So as everybody's running around, I hope they stop by.
Well, I
Maria,
think
tell us again the location. It's at that. It's the Abbey, or what's it called?
St.
the villa.
Joseph Villa, which is
Okay.
managed by an incredible order of nuns, the Sisters of St. Joseph. They also have a farm in Brentwood, and they talk about giving back to your community. I mean, they've been on Long Island serving it for over 150 years. But their mission is to empower women, they work with a lot of the immigrant population, but they also are very, very dedicated to working with the environment and creating, in their mission statement. I mean, the animals, the soils, they're much as part of the life that goes on this planet, as we know. And so it's just really inspiring to be able to working with them They have kelp farmers that farm off of their shores. They started a garden on the property. It's called the Ecological Culture Initiative. And everything that's raised there goes to a food pantry in Hampton Bays. And it's all community supported. They've got an amazing compost program. So anybody who comes will hear more about all those programs. We have over 40 vendors that are going to be there. Of course, we're going to be talking about our slow food projects like flower power, snail of approval. So we've got a lot to show
Maria,
off
I
and
just want
talk
to
about.
interrupt you. Do you have two devices open? Because somehow, for some reason, you're echoing. I don't know why
I
that.
don't hear the echo.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I keep
Okay.
hearing the echo, so I want to make sure everybody can hear.
No,
Okay.
I don't hear it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the villa is amazing. There's a lot going on there, right? You mentioned the sisters, obviously, but tell us a little bit more about the kelp farmers and ECI that has their composting.
Yes.
What do they have
Last
going
year
on
you
there?
had last year you had somebody speak about composting. I missed it, and for since this entire year I've been trying to figure out how to compost at my house. So I
Okay,
need to know what time we're talking about that so I can be there.
3:15.
Okay, got it.
We've got a, if people follow us on Instagram, you'll see the posts. If you're on our newsletter, you'll see a map. We'll have maps on site with a list of the programming. There's going to be a ceremonial transfer of kelp to the garden to start the afternoon at 1:45. Our event begins at 1, but the ceremonial transfer begins shortly after that. And that's a really incredible symbolic moment because the kelp is raised right off of the bays by multi-generation Shinnecock Nation women, and they have basically they feel that they're returning to their roots. This is ancestral ground here. It's called the good ground. That whole area of Hampton Bays is known as the good ground. It's fertile. It's on the waters. It's got great soils, and so bringing kelp the kelp farmers here are reinstituting that whole there's a whole wave now that's happening with kelp farming because it's nutritious, it cleans the waters. We're going to have other people besides the kelp farmers talking about kelp on Earth Day, but I'm really excited that we have an opportunity to honor the people that have been doing this work for thousands of years. They've found a new home at St. Joseph's Villa where they can proudly farm and introduce their work to us. And then the ecological cultural initiative is started by the sisters and a few volunteer farmers. Rachel from Sweet Woodland Farm, she's a farmer in Southold. She's part of it, and talk about everything was donated, found, foraged, and they really have started a
Well,
fabulous
and Tony Romano gave a really inspiring speech that I sat through the whole speech last year, Tracy, because what he talked about that was more, I don't know if it's called cold composting or I'm using the wrong phrase, but you literally don't do anything. You just layer it. I guess it's lasagna composting or something like that. So it's very minimal effort. And we think there's a lot to do. Obviously, you do need to turn and add water. There are many ways to quicken the decomposting. But there's so many simpler ways of, and I know one of the things that Slow Food had done was also showcased the Long Island, what was the Long Island Council that with the composting buckets with Mary Morgan? Maria, what was that organization?
um, you're catching me off guard.
Well,
Mary, but we've composting is really, really important. And whether or not, and there's going to be a program with Deep Roots coming up. We're looking for compost stations where people can drop off because we really want to keep this byproduct out of the landfills because
Yeah.
it releases so much
That was the
methane
basic
gas.
point, is
And
that
that is,
organic waste doesn't really need to leave your home
No.
or your land because there's so
Yeah.
many options. Thank you, Stacy, for hopping in. She mentioned the food cycler because when we did that program at Macari last year as a slow wine, they had introduced to us this life cycler countertop unit. So
Yeah.
if you don't want to go through the whole process of, doing a compost outside, there's so many simpler ways that it convert the your kitchen scraps into what they call soil
Well,
amendment.
and I have a whole list of all of them that are out there in a spreadsheet. So if anybody would like to know the pros and cons of each one, but I haven't committed to one yet because I still feel like there should be something around here that I could do. So yeah,
we're
I'm
putting compost in your backyard, finding a spot for it or getting a part, dropping it off at one of the farms that are partners, is a really significant thing that individuals can do. Because sometimes we really feel like, what, is this, like recycling, basically they collect it and they take it somewhere else and either burn it or bury it. And that's a sad truth, and I think that we need to be looking for things that we can actually do that is immediately impactful. And Long Island Organics was behind this effort. And many, many more people are on board. And, we hope that this makes the town, our local town, more aware in particular, but broadly across the East End, that this is something that we can all do together, that the local communities can get, our civics can get involved in this, supporting it as well.
And Maria, what I love about the Earth Day event specifically, because obviously Slow Food tries to do this in so many ways all year long, but at the Earth Day event, the team has managed to gather so many like-minded partners. I know we're talking about a couple right now, but there are, from the last count I looked at, probably about 40 or so participants that will set up tables there, right? So tell me a little bit more about who's going to be there that people can expect.
We have farmers from the North and South Fork. We have the mushroom farmers. We have kelp farmers. We have flower farmers. We have artists. We have Green Door Woodworks. Everything. It's a lot of scrap wood. Actually, all of his sawdust goes to benefit the lasagna compost program at
How cool.
BI. We have Cornell Cooperative will be there. They'll be doing cooking demos on how to use sustainable fish, source locally. We have
I think East End Food Institute is going to be there. That does the Riverhead. It used to be called the Riverhead Farmers Market. It's now the East End Food
and
Market.
we support them too with because they're doing some big expansion in Riverhead, which I'm really excited about. Long Island Wine will be there. We'll be pouring local wines.
Oh, I'm excited about that. Let's talk about the wines and the food. So Long Island Wine is a wine country. There will be an assortment of wines from local vineyards. Obviously, most of them are on the North Fork, but some are on the South Fork. And let's talk about my favorite topic, food. We have some delicious food, correct?
Grace and Grit is going to be there with grab and go foods, and we'll have picnic tables. There's a observation deck overlooking Back Bay, so you can stay there, relax, have lunch. We'll be pouring wine. We have
Tracy. We missed that last year. I've never walked out.
I was like, I didn't see that.
So this year for sure we're going to make some time to follow the path, go down to the bay. It is really a beautiful venue.
And Tilly can walk this year. Last year she was in the stroller, so that's perfect. She can come with us.
Okay, you say perfect, but to me it just means we need to be chasing and running and keeping more eyes in the stroller. We know exactly where she is.
Oh no, I trust that little. She's an outdoor nature girl. She'll be up those stairs before we are.
She'll be kelp farming.
She will be. Yeah.
It's a family fun event, definitely.
It
bring
is.
Kids, bring your grandma, bring your aunties, your girlfriends, your guy friends. There's something for everybody there. We'll have art projects and demos, and you can ask.
And Sunita, aren't you having a table there?
I am. Well, thank you for bringing that up, Tracy, because I feel like I'm trying to fly under the radar for my launch because I haven't talked about it enough yet. But at Earth Day, NOFO Style will be setting up a table because I am in the process of launching a line of handmade straw raffia handbags. But what I'm bringing specifically to Earth Day is a smaller subset curated line of tote bags that are made with recycled fishing nets.
Love that.
So they're all handmade, and then they're reusing, and I just feel like it's a cause and mission that's so close to my heart that ties in so well with what I'm learning at Slow Food East End. I think when you surround yourself with people that have chickens and live off the earth, you can't, not that I'm consciously trying to avoid living that life, but you can't avoid living that life because it just seeps into you. And so now I find myself thinking about chickens and recycled fishing nets and thinking about Mother Earth, and it's great. So yes, I will be soft launching at Earth Day.
Everybody I mean, that's why I love your product being there, Sunita, because everybody who's there, who's representing on Earth Day, is somehow connected in recycling, upcycling, digging the earth, replenishing, renewing. And so it's really exciting to have all this positive energy in one space and to just walk among it and get that energy and positivity. And as we're starting to think about what we're going to plant in soil and grow in our gardens, it's really
Well, and
going to
this
be fun.
farm producers too, like Aki's kitchen is going to be there, that use local produce and
Yep.
and create foods and jams and jellies and honey. I think Chris is going to be there. He's always so
Chris
much fun talking.
Kelly.
He has a hive and a bee demo, correct?
Yes, Chris Kelly manages many of the hives on the east end. And so we're really lucky to get his time this year because he's usually really busy, and he'll be doing a discussion about, what goes on in the hive, and we'll actually have a moment to be able to peek in one of the hives. And he's a great dynamic speaker and has years of experience.
He's been on the show, Tracy. I mean, we had so much fun. I think we laughed the entire time. I mean,
we did.
I'm sure we talked about bees. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I think.
And a few birds.
Well, I don't think we went to birds. I think we stuck with bees.
Just saying, it can get on.
Yeah, no, it was great. I think there's so much jam packed in 1 to 4 that's going on. But I love that the team has collected so many collaborations, because I know that part of the mission that's close to your heart, Maria, is also to support and amplify the voice of local organizations here that are doing good.
I am so excited about our team. Sunita and I talk almost every hour when we're doing events like this. But it really is because we have strong leaders, people who are very engaged.
I see Marissa on
doers.
here, and I see Stacy on here.
Yep. The Flower Power team is doing great.
Can we
We're really trying.
Talk a quick minute about Flower Power, though. Just what is Flower Power, and how can people, participate?
As you know, Sunita, it really is an exceptional project, and started a few years ago. And while we had time, Penny Schwartz came up with a great idea of trying to get volunteers to bake at home, and let's donate the bread where it's needed most, because food insecurity is a real problem everywhere, but here it also is a problem, and it's easy to ignore, but there are things that we can do. And so baking breads, dropping them off at food pantries, we organize that. We're now supporting 4 food pantries on the East End, and we are fine-tuning our processes so that we're more in touch with the bakers. We're having workshops for them, so we're holding our hands through the working, the fundamental process of how to work with the recipe. And it's really exciting. We're building a strong community by word of mouth, word of example, and anybody who's on this program this morning, if you're interested in getting involved, please poke us or come to Earth Day and see what we're doing, and talk to Stacy and Becky, and find a way to get involved. And we've talked about this on previous shows, but
I just think it's such a simple and great way to get involved. Like, Maria, like you were saying earlier, we always think of what can I do? Like we think, oh, there are huge problems, but what can I do? But simple steps like this. Start your own compost pile, bake when you can. Again, one of the favorite things I love about this program, it's not rigid. It's not, oh my God, once you sign up, you have to bake every single time. I think everybody has a busy life, and bake when you can. So the baking cycle is every 2 weeks. And there are 4 pantries, Cast in Southold, North Fork Spanish Apostolate in Riverhead, and then 2 on the South Forks, Springs and Heart of Hamptons. And so what we have done is set up drop-off points for the bread close to those pantries or closer to where you are. So pick what's convenient. And the recipe bakes 4 loaves. The idea being you donate 3 and you keep 1 for your family. You give 1 to your friends. And I don't bake often enough now. In the beginning, I did a little bit more, and I want to go back to doing it more. But the smell and the scent and the process of knowing that you're doing something good, that's so simple. is amazing. So I don't know, Tracy, when you're going to find time to start baking, but you and Kelly can start baking.
Well, I had shared about this a while back that for a period of time I was actually cooking every Sunday night for a friend of mine who was pregnant with twins and had to stay in bed. I forget what they call that. She was on bed rest. And I am terrible at food prepping for myself during the week, right? But once it became that I was food prepping for someone else, all of a sudden, food prepping Sunday night became like something I looked forward to doing instead of something I had to do. So I'm sure it's the same principle here with that.
And I find that anytime you get involved, no matter what you're going through personally, it shifts the focus and the dynamic. And
Yes.
I also think that people forget that this is also, if you feel alone or you feel like you're wanting to find new friends, these are also great ways to find engagement. And many of us we're not born here and may not grow up here, but
Oh, you can say it. We're not locals. That's okay. You can use the word.
but we're putting roots here, and this is a way to do it, and making friends and getting new people involved in your life and finding other purposes besides so me focused in many ways, and it's nice to put it out there. And can I just put in a pitch for anybody who wants to be more involved with the board to contact
Yes, of course.
you,
Your
because
show.
there's a lot to do. We've got an ambitious schedule. I mean, Earth Day is just our first event of the year, and we are looking for engagement. And so it's a great group of people who come and meet us on Sunday, get to know us a little bit better, and we'll get you.
So let's just go through the stats. So this coming Sunday, what's the date? Do you know off the top of your head?
21st.
21st.
Okay. So Sunday, April 21st, from 1 to 4.
That's right.
From 1 to 4. It's free. You
It's
just
free.
come.
Just come.
Wait, hold on. And it's free. And the first 100 people will get a really amazing canvas, reusable, large, slow food Eastern tote. Way to go,
All
Maria.
right.
Yay.
All right.
So
Yeah,
And
that's
we'll also have
reusable
very
bottles.
nice.
You're seeing it here first, guys.
Yeah.
We only have 75, so
All right.
if you want, get there early.
Love it.
And don't forget Grace and Curtis cooking. So I'm just saying, like all the other stuff.
And
But
old oyster.
I really love the slow food community, because I think you're right. A lot of people are seeking community. Tracy.
Yes.
I think we were going to partner and visit. Your mom has a local community of women, correct?
Yes. So she's part of
coming up.
They do. She's part of the Riverhead Women's Club, and they do things all year long, but they have their big luncheon coming up on May 15th, which is the same day as the NOFO live party. So you can do both, because I did both last year. You go to the day to my mom's event, and it's at the Vineyards. It's actually really amazing. They give away, I believe it's 4 scholarships to students from anywhere on the East End, and they have a very extensive application program, and they raise money all year long to be able to support these students and help them. And the candidates, my mom's been in interviewing people all month long, and they're really amazing. So the luncheon is at the Vineyards in Aquabog on May 15th, and we'll post some information about it on our site.
It's so funny. It's such a small town, because I know Maria was talking to, right? You were invited to go speak at the women's group, and the timing didn't work out, so we will circle back and be there. But it just made me smile. I'm like, and we keep saying your mom, but her name is Karen.
You're so right, Sunita. Like, that's what this show entirely is about, right? Our community and building our community and connecting people. And like what Maria and I worked on Festival of Trees together, and you guys work on slow food together, and Maria and my mom were talking about, Riverhead Women's Club, and it's just, that's what this is all about. It's about helping each other and helping the community. Yeah. And
making new friends and forging new, together we're stronger, together we can do more, and I'm the oldest of 12 kids. I love being people.
I didn't know that.
No. Yeah,
Right?
my
When you get to know people, it's such just that one sentence, Maria, the visual of you and 12 siblings is like, okay, I'm looking at you. I mean, obviously I knew this, but I look at you with different eyes going,
I'm the,
let me picture this dinner table.
my young brother is only 14 years younger than me. So my mom
Wow.
packed a lot into those 14 years. And
Wow.
so when I got married, I waited 11 to have mine because I knew exactly what was going to be involved. But anyhow, my point was that, you know, um, together is better,
Yeah.
you know, and sharing the table with friends and family. And slow food is all about bringing people around the table in so many different ways, you know, not always literally, figuratively, you know, or providing bread for people who don't have bread on their table.
Yeah.
So, you know, it means a lot to me in many different ways.
And Maria, we never really got a chance to introduce you and your history. I mean, you had big shoes to fill after Penny being, everybody knows and loves Penny being the chair for 6 years, but you have a pretty accomplished history of what you've done before. And, I think we shared a snippet once in one of our strategy planning sessions. I mean, you had a window in Bergdorf Goodman of your book. I mean, was it Bergdorf Goodman or where was it,
Well,
Maria?
that was one of them, but yes,
Yes, but so you had a
yep.
pretty, so I'm so grateful to be on a team with you and all the other board members that, bring such a rich and diverse history. So,
I,
thank you for
I
everything you
wasn't
did.
standing in the window. My book was, but I used to be an editor at Brides Magazine for people who are wondering what the heck. And so I've published 6 books on weddings and parties, and you know, but out here I wear jeans and clothes that can get into the ground, and so it's a very different life out here, which I'm so blessed to have had a wide spectrum of experiences and to see them live on in things like organizations like Slow Food East End, because that's where I cut my teeth on learning how to plan
And
events.
and you also serve on the board of CAST. So there's a lot that you
Yes.
do in the community and get involved. So I can't wait to hear your take on the NOFO Live 5, Tracy. Let's go.
All right, Maria, let's kick it off. If you were going to take Sunita and I out to lunch, where would you take us?
Well, first of all, you guys have been everywhere. So my first response would be come to my
Ooh,
place, and you know
ooh.
that would be different. And I have my own little sanctuary here.
Oh my God, your backyard and that table, it's got like weeping, I don't know if it's weeping willows or wisteria or some, oh, let's do it. This
It's
one we're
a
doing,
long
Tracy.
table under a trellis. Yeah, it's great. But Little Creek is where I want to go back to soon because they're reopening, and I always feel at home
Yeah.
there. Plus, they pour my daughter's sake, so I'm always a big fan of businesses that are supporting my kids in some way.
Oh, that's great.
Okay, when you're driving around everywhere doing the 100,000 things you do do you catch a sunrise, a sunset? Do you have a secret spot?
Well, sunrise, I love them both. So I don't know what I was trying to figure out. What do you call that? Like, you know, dual suns or whatever. But you know, in the morning, it's got to be close because, you know, and so Cedar Beach is great. It's a half a mile away from me. I can run there or drive there and see it come up over Shelter Island. It's a beautiful crescent beach. And in the evening, I'll go, you know, wherever I am. If I see it coming, you know, if I'm on the ferry, a Shelter Island ferry coming home, day of work, to me, that's almost like one of the gifts is being on the boat, exhausted from whatever my day has been, and just sitting there watching the sun go down. That
I need
feels,
to make a plan to do that. I mean, the
Yeah.
walk-in on the ferry is so inexpensive, so I should just do that on random.
yeah.
Thank you, Maria. I'm going to put that in the
No,
back pocket.
and you can go back and forth, you know.
Yes, on the,
You know,
don't even get off. Okay, so if anybody sees me, just know that that's what I'm doing. Taking
I
some
love it.
pictures on the boat, pretending I live the boat life.
I love it. That's so funny.
That's awesome.
we can
That's
all
awesome.
feel like millionaires once in a while.
Yeah.
Okay, brewery, vineyard, cocktail, mocktail. What do you
Yeah,
enjoy, and where would we see you enjoying it?
everywhere. I like them all. My husband makes a great whiskey sour again, you know, come to my place. We, you know, the brewer, I'm a wine girl, and sparkling wine is my favorite. They pour it at a lot of different places. I feel at home in a lot of venues. Halyard is a great place to have a cocktail, though, and with that view, talk about sunsets, right?
Yeah, and not to self promote again, but you can catch a cocktail at our NOFO live party on May 15th at the
I
house.
can't believe it's coming up so
I
fast,
know.
right? Honestly, you know, sometimes I think we just started doing this show, and then when I think about it, that this is the May 15th, that week will be the end of our third year. I mean, I say third season, but it's literally the third year for me to be of us doing this.
I
And
know.
thank you, Maria. But we still think it's just casual fun, which it is.
It
But
is.
when we pause and think about how many people we've interacted with and chatted with, it's pretty incredible.
Well, and
Yeah,
it really is, especially given how sort of, I would say, casual the behind the scenes work is. I mean, Sunita does it all. I just show
Well,
up. I'm like,
I
you
don't know
know,
about all, but
at 8 a.m. I'm like, who are we talking to today?
but you guys really are like the Venn diagram of the North Fork, right? Because everybody kind of somehow, there's a little connection to you guys, and it's really
Well,
why
we
you
love that. We
make
love
time
that.
to connect with people.
Yeah. Well, all right. So if you're going to cook at home, which clearly you like to do, what's your favorite farm stands to swing by, or what are your favorite products to get at what's farm stand?
Um, we have it's almost like picking what's your favorite child,
Yeah.
So, but I think the one that I have the most emotional connection with is Deep Roots. They were my first CSA. They do one for chickens, and I just love the fact that it's a family farm. They're new to farming. They were not, multi-generational farmers like many people out here are, and it's remarkable what they've done. And Michelle and Tom, her son Tom, they're remarkable stewards. I got to know them a little bit better. We were making a movie for Slow Food. We are Slow Food, because they really are doing the work and investing in the ground. And not that all the farmers are doing it, but they're near me, and I love the fact that they're small and mighty, and you know. Uh,
and Tracy, it's a shame that you're a little far away from them because, again, let's remind people you do not live in Southold because they think
I know.
you do. But they actually have a bin where you can bring your scraps. And again, I don't know that it's an official program,
Yeah.
but they do. They
they
do
will.
all of those things, and I think that's why Maria, your heart kind of goes is connected to that. And Michelle is just incredible. Every time I go there, I'm re-inspired by how much hard work goes into farming and how delicious it is to be able to, and how lucky we are to be able to get fresh seasonal produce and take it home.
Yeah. You
Delicious.
know, we should our intern that we're searching for, so if anybody wants to intern for us, uh we should have them make a list of farm stands that take compost, because I would like that information too. We have a whole list for this intern to do. You'd think we wouldn't need one, but we do.
Well, Mary Morgan is who you wanted to talk to, and that program will get off to a bigger start this year. And I know that they're in terms of the drop-off points, they're not as many right away, but that they're building.
And I know
And
Okay.
Riverhead Town was trying to do a program where you could do it at the town dump, whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there are amazing people doing amazing work. We just need to amplify
Yeah.
them and increase their reach so we can all
and
participate.
Yeah.
I mean, their concern with scaling it up is making sure that people they're clean scraps rather than commingled with plastics or other things
Yeah.
too. So there are some challenges with um, getting these things started, but they're definitely not overcomable. They are overcomable. They're manageable. You scale it up, and I'm really proud of you for stepping up
Yeah.
and making this happen.
Well, Maria, we're really proud of you for all of the work that you're doing through all of your organizations.
Thank
Thank you for making the North Fork a better place, really. And, you know, the question is supposed to be to you, what do you love about being a part of the North Fork community? But you are part of what we love about being part of the North Fork community.
thank you. Thank you. Um, I mean, playing here, the people here, it gives me a sense of purpose. It's delicious here. It's 75 miles from Manhattan, where I basically grew up, and so my heart is here, and I'm really blessed to have friends like you because of being here. And I hope everybody has a great day and comes to see us on Earth Day.
Yes,
I'm really
we'll see
excited.
everybody on Earth Day, at Earth Day on Sunday.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Maria. And I guess we'll talk as soon as we hang up so we can continue planning Earth Day.
2 minutes.
Have a good
2 minutes.
weekend, everybody.
There.
Bye,
Bye,
Tracy.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.